Okay, let's start and continue chapter number 3, the transport layer from the computer networking top down approach. So, we are going to discuss the TCP segment structure and reliable data transfer protocol adopted in TCP. So the TCP, it is basically a point-to-point protocol. So we have already discussed it. That TCP is a point-to-point protocol. That there is one sender and one receiver, while UDP is not point-to-point. Okay. So point-to-point means that a receiver, when it receives the data, so the data is identified based on the destination IP address, destination port number, and the source IP address and source port number with which the connection is established. So it means that the receiver, the TCP receiver, can receive data from only and only one sender. Okay, while the UDP is not. Okay, so we have already discussed it. Now we are going to discuss the reliability U protocol used in TCP. TCP is reliable protocol. Okay, so it use reliability. It means that the TCPs transmit the data reliably in order, but it is using byte stream. So we will explain what does byte stream means. Okay, so there is no message boundaries, but the packets are the segment that actually the byte are transmit and received reliably in order, and the acknowledgement is sent for the byte. So we will explain it that it is what does byte stream means. TCP adopts pipeline reliable approach, that is the TCP sends multiple packets at a time, okay, and the TCP protocol, it is full duplex. It is mean that it is bidirectional data flow in same connection, that is the sender and receiver, they can send data to each other at same time. And in the TCP there is a maximum segment size, that a packet can have a maximum size, so the packet size cannot be greater than maximum segment size. Okay, so let's discuss the in order byte stream. What does it mean? Basically this is the TCP segment structure. Okay, so each header, it is 32-bit. First header line, second, third, fourth, fifth, these first 5 header lines, they are mandatory, and some header lines, they are optional. These header lines are optional. Okay, so in the first header line there are 2 fields, source port number, destination port number. So they are same as used in the UDP. Source port number, it identifies the source application. Destination port number, it identifies the destination application on the destination machine. Okay, the checksum, it is used for bit error. Okay, so the checksum and this protocol, they are same as compared in the UDP header. However, the sequence number, acknowledgement and acknowledgement flag, how they are used, so let's discuss it. So the TCP, it is basically byte stream. By byte streaming, it counting by bytes of data, not the message. So the sequence number is assigned to the bytes present in the data, not to the packet. Okay, similarly a flag is used for acknowledgement. Okay, so we will discuss these fields through an example. Okay, now we are going to discuss what does TCP byte stream means. Okay, suppose that this is the TCP sender and this is the TCP receiver. Suppose that the TCP sender, it receives the data from application layer, from above application layer. Okay, so the data is divided into bytes, and each byte is assigned a sequence number. For example, this sender receives 9 bytes of data. So the first byte is assigned sequence number 0, the second byte is assigned sequence number 1, third is assigned sequence number 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 8. So 9 bytes of data is received. Okay. Now suppose that the sender wants to transmit the first packet, and the first packet, it contains 4 bytes of data. So the first 4 bytes, that is the byte with the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3. These 4 bytes data will be put in the first packet. So the sequence number should be what? So the sequence number of a TCP means that what is the lowest sequence number of the byte. You can see that there are 4 bytes stored. Each byte has sequence number. So the lowest byte or the lowest sequence number byte is 0. So the lowest sequence number, it will becomes the sequence number of the first packet. So the first packet, its sequence number will be 0. So in the TCP byte stream is that the TCP packet, it will have the sequence number of the lowest byte sequence that is stored in the packet. So the packet, it contains 4 bytes with the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3, and the lowest sequence number is 0. So this lowest sequence number 0, it will become the sequence number of the first packet. Okay. So when the first packet is received, so the receiver will send acknowledgement. Again, note that we assign the sequence to this byte. The TCP byte stream is the TCP sends the acknowledgement for the bytes, not for the packet. So this packet has sequence number 0, and it has how many bytes? It has 4 bytes, sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3. So the acknowledgement will be sent for the bytes, not for the packets. Okay. So this acknowledgement will be sent at the byte level. Okay. So if we consider go back in, then the acknowledgement will be 3. Why? Because this packet, the first packet that is received, it contains the bytes from 0, 1, 2, 3. So up to 3 sequence number byte, the data is received correctly, because go backends use cumulative acknowledgement. Okay, so this is mean by byte stream, that we assign the sequence to the bytes and we acknowledge the bytes. So in this first packet, we don't send that the sequence of first packet is 0, so we will send acknowledgement number 1. No, but we are acknowledgement number 0. No, we send the acknowledgement at the byte level, not at the packet level. So in the first packet, the bytes are 0, 1, 2, 3. So the acknowledgement will be 3. That is up to bytes 0, sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3. They are received correctly. Okay. Now suppose that in the TCP, it is also using the cumulative acknowledgement. Okay, the TCP is also using so in the TCP also use cumulative acknowledgement, but the cumulative acknowledgement, it is different than go backend. In go backend, we send the acknowledgement number that up to this number that bytes has been received correctly. But in the TCP, we send the acknowledgement for the next expected byte, That is, in this case, we have received the bytes with the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3 in adder. So now we are expecting the next byte with the sequence number 4. So the acknowledgement in the TCP will be 4. Acknowledgement 4 means that up to 0, 1, 2, 3 sequence number, the bytes, they are received correctly in order by the receiver, and the receiver is expecting the next byte with the sequence number 4. So the TCP, it sends the acknowledgement number of the next byte that is expecting in order, and the go backend, it sends the last sequence number that is received correctly in order. Okay, this is the difference between go backend and TCP acknowledgement number. So the TCP sends acknowledgement number 4. The TCP, it sends acknowledgement number 4, that is up to sequence number 3 bytes the data is received correctly, and the receiver is expecting the next byte in order with the sequence number 4. Okay, so it means that these 4 bytes, they are received correctly. Now the sender sends the second packet, and the second packet, it contains the 3 bytes. Which 3 bytes? With the sequence number 4, 5, 6. Okay, 4, 5, 6. You can see 4, 5, 6. So what should be the sequence number of the second packet? So the sequence number of the second packet, it should be the lowest sequence number of the byte. So lowest byte sequence, the bytes with the lowest sequence number in this bytes is 4. Okay, so its sequence number will become 4. You can see that in the first packet, the bytes has the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3. So the lowest was 0, so it becomes the sequence number. But here the lowest byte, it has sequence number 4, so it will become the sequence number of second packet. Okay, so when this packet is received, the receiver sends acknowledgement. The acknowledgement is not sent for the packet, but the acknowledgement is sent for the bytes. So the 0, 1, 2, 3, they are received in order, and now 4, 5, 6, they are received in order. So the acknowledgement will be what? So the acknowledgement in the TCP is sent for the next expected byte. So it means that 4, 5, 6 bytes, they are received in order correctly. So the next, the TCP is expecting sequence number 7. So the acknowledgement will be 7. The TCP acknowledgement will be 7, because the TCP sends the acknowledgement number of the next byte that is expecting in order. Okay, so in this way you can see that how the TCP, this is the TCP byte stream, means that the TCP assigns the sequence number to the bytes, and the acknowledgement is sent for the bytes, not for the packet. So the acknowledgement is sent at the byte level, not for the packet level. Okay, now suppose that we are going to discuss another example, and it will be much clear to you. Suppose we have sender and receiver. Okay, suppose the sender is sending first packet PS1, its sequence is 0. Okay, and it has contained 4 bytes. So it contains the bytes with the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, suppose this first packet PS1, it is received, so it sends acknowledgement, receiver sends acknowledgement. So acknowledgement will be 4. Why? Because the packet with the sequence number 0, 1, 2, 3, they are received. So now the receiver is expecting the next packet with the sequence number 4. So the receiver is expecting the next packet with the sequence number 4. Okay, and this receiver, it also wants to send its own packet, its own data packet, and suppose this packet is PR1, the packet from the receiver, and its sequence number is 9 and bytes is 10. Remember that in TCP the sequence number from the sender side, the sender has its own sequence number and the receiver has its own sequence number. Okay, so you can see that one approach is that the sender sends acknowledgement as a separate packet, and the data packet is sent as a separate packet. Okay, so two packets are transmitted. So you can see that the receiver, it is sending two packets. One is the acknowledgement number 4 and one is the data packet. So these two packets, they are transmitted separately. Okay, so the header of this acknowledgement, it will look like this way. This A flag, it will be on. When A flag is on, it means that it is acknowledgement packet. And the acknowledgement number 4, it will be placed in the acknowledgement number field here. So 4 will be placed here, and A flag, it will be on. So if A flag is off, it means that there is no acknowledgement. This is not acknowledgement. Packet doesn't contain acknowledgement. When A flag is on, it means that this is acknowledgement packet. It contains acknowledgement number. And this data packet, its header will be like this one. Its sequence 9, it will be put here. And this packet, it doesn't contain the acknowledgement, so acknowledgement field is 0. It is 0, and acknowledgement number is not of use. Okay, now suppose that the sender, it receives the acknowledgement number 4 and the PR1, and now this sender also wants to send acknowledgement. For which? For PR1. So in the PR1 packet, the sequence is 9 and it has 10 bytes. So it has the bytes with the sequence number 9, 10, 11, 12 up to 18. So it will send acknowledgement number 19, that up to 18 sequence number, the data is received by the sender from the receiver in order correctly. And this sender is expecting the next byte with the sequence number 19 from the receiver side. Okay, and this sender also wants to send its second packet, PS2. Its sequence is suppose 0 and it contains 3 bytes. Okay, so again the sender, it will sense this, the acknowledgement as a separate packet and the data packet as a separate packet. So the acknowledgement, it will have this header, and the data packet, it will have this header. Okay, now suppose that the receiver receives PS2 packet and acknowledgement 19. So acknowledgement 19 means that the sender has received the PR1 packet, and now the receiver receives the second packet, PS2. So the receiver will sense the acknowledgement. So what should be the acknowledgement? So in the PS2, we have the data bytes with sequence number 4, 5, 6. So it will send acknowledgement number 7. That now the receiver is expecting acknowledgement number 7. That is, the receiver is expecting the next byte from the sender with the sequence number 7. Okay, now suppose that we are considering this same example through another perspective. Okay, the sender is sending the first packet, PS1. Its sequence is 0. It contains 4 bytes. Suppose it is received correctly. Now the receiver has to send acknowledgement. So acknowledgement will be 4 for this packet, PS1. And this receiver also want to send the packet. So one approach was that the receiver sends acknowledgement as a separate packet and the data packet as a separate packet. And in this approach, what does it do? The sender combines the acknowledgement and data in a single packet. The acknowledgement and the data packet, they are combined in a single packet. So the sequence number will be 9. The acknowledgement A flag will be on and the acknowledgement number will be put here. So both acknowledgement and data, they are transmitted in the single packet. Okay, so this approach is called piggyback approach. So which one is efficient? This one is efficient. Okay, so you can see that the acknowledgement, if A flag is on, it means that this data packet contains acknowledgement. So what is the acknowledgement number? This field will contain acknowledgement number. So this acknowledgement, if this packet is moving from the receiver side, so it means that the receiver is acknowledging the data of sender. If this packet is moving from the sender side, then it means that the sender is sending acknowledgement by acknowledging the data of receiver. Okay, so this is called PK. So when this is received, the acknowledgement and the PR1 packet, they are both received in a single packet. Okay, so you can see that now this sender, it wants to send the acknowledgement for PR1 and it sends second packet PH2. So these acknowledgement and data, they will be combined in a single packet. Okay, in a single packet, and this will be the structure. The A flag will be on and the acknowledgement 19 will be put here and the sequence number 4 will be put here. Okay, so you can see that here the number of packets, they are reduced in the piggyback. Okay, so now the receiver, it wants to send only acknowledgement, so there will be only acknowledgement packet, this acknowledgement header, this will be the header, only it will contains A flag on and the acknowledgement number will be 7 put here. So for this TCP acknowledgement packet. Okay, so up to now we have discussed the TCP sequence number, acknowledgement number and A flag. Okay, and the sequence number, it is assigned to bytes and the acknowledgement is sent for the byte. That's why the TCP is called byte stream. Byte stream means the number of first byte in the segment data, the number of first byte in the segment's data. And similarly, the acknowledgement is sent for the sequence number of next byte that is expected from the other side. Okay, so the TCP acknowledgement number, it is different than the go back in acknowledgement number. Okay, the TCP acknowledgement number, it is different than the go back in acknowledgement number. In go back in, we send the acknowledgement of the last byte that is received correctly in order, but in the TCP, the acknowledgement number is sent for the next byte that is expecting, next expecting byte in the in order. Okay, so the next expecting byte. Okay, so in the TCP, the acknowledgement number, it is sent for the sequence number of next byte expected from the other side, and we are using cumulative acknowledgement. Okay, is in the go back end. Okay, so if acknowledgement number 4 is received, it means that the data up to acknowledgement number 3, up to sequence number 3 is correctly received by the site, and the receiver is expecting the next byte with the sequence number 4. Okay, so how receiver handle out of other segments, we will discuss it later on. Okay, so this is the TCP sender. These are the data bytes that are acknowledged, and this is the sender sequence number. These are the bytes that are sent and not acknowledged. These are the bytes that are sent and acknowledged, and these yellow, they are the bytes that are sent and not acknowledged, and these are the data bytes that could be sent next, these blue one, and these are empty slots. Okay, so the sequence number of a packet, if it is transmitted, because up to yellow these packets are transmitted, so if next we want to transmit, so these bytes will be transmitted, these blue one, these will be transmitted, and if these bytes are transmitted, so in these byte, this first blue line, it is the byte with the lowest sequence number. So this lowest sequence number byte, its sequence number will become the sequence number of the packet. Okay. Similarly, the acknowledgement, it will be A flag will be on, and the acknowledgement number will contain this one, the packets that is received correctly and error. Okay. Now suppose we are going to discuss another example to understand the TCP sequence number and acknowledgement number, how the TCP sequence number and acknowledgement number are generated. Suppose we have host A and host B. Suppose that we are using echo server, echo client and echo server, user type C, like ping utility. C will be sent to host B. Suppose its sequence number is 42. Okay, and suppose the acknowledgement is 79 and the data is C, so 1 byte of data. So this packet is sent. When this packet is sent, so it means that it contains the acknowledgement and data both. Okay, so when it is received, we are using echo server, so this C byte will be sent back. So it will contains the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement will be for this packet. So this packet has sequence number 42 and it contains 1 byte of data. So it contains 42, only 1 byte. Okay, so it means that 42 data is received, the data up to 42 sequence number is received correctly, and this host B is expecting the next byte with the sequence number 43. So the 43 will be the acknowledgement number, because in TCP we sense the next expecting byte, the sequence of next expecting byte is the acknowledgement number. So up to 42 sequence number they are received because C is 1 byte. So up to 42 is received correctly, and this host B is expecting the next byte from host A side with this sequence number 43, and it sends the data. So it has sent the data up to 78 sequence number. So up to 78 sequence number is received by host A from host B side. So host A is expecting the next sequence number with the next byte with the sequence number 79 from host B. So therefore sequence number 79 will be the sequence number of the packet from host B side, and it contains 1 byte of data, the same C byte. It is received. Now it sends only the acknowledgement. Host A sends only acknowledgement. So its sequence number will be 43 because the 42 sequence number is sent. So next will be 43, and it contains only acknowledgement. So acknowledgement for this packet, and this packet sequence number is 79. So up to 79 sequence number byte it is received correctly, because its sequence number is 79. It contains 1 byte, so only it contains the byte with sequence number 79. So it is mean that up to 79 it is received correctly by host A from host B, and host A is now expecting the next sequence number with the acknowledgement with the sequence number 80. So 80 will, the expected sequence number will become the acknowledgement number. Okay. Now we are going to discuss reliable data transfer in the TCP. Okay, so we have discussed the TCP byte stream protocol. We have discussed TCP sequence number, acknowledgement number, and A feeds. Okay, now we are discussing the reliable data transfer protocol. TCP, it use reliable data transfer. What does it mean? That TCP creates a reliable data transfer, or DT means a reliable data transfer service on the top of IP unreliable servers. And the TCP use pipeline segments. Pipeline means that TCP sends multiple packets at a time. The TCP sends multiple packets at a time. The TCP use cumulative acknowledgement. So this cumulative acknowledgement is the best feature of Go backend. And the TCP use single retransmission time. Multiple bytes are sent at a time, but the timer is running for only the oldest sequence number. For only the oldest sequence number that is sent and not acknowledged yet. So cumulative acknowledgement and single timer, it is used in the Go backend. So the TCP has the best feature of Go backend. Okay, we will discuss that in the TCP. The retransmission is triggered by a timeout. When the timeout of a packet is expired, then the packet is retransmitted. Okay, however, the packet can be also retransmitted when the duplicate acknowledgement is received. We will discuss it later on. Okay, so up to now the TCP, it used by planned segments, it used cumulative acknowledgement, and it used single timer. And cumulative acknowledgement and single timer, they are the best feature of Go back N. Okay, so up to now, we suppose we ignore these things. We ignore duplicate acknowledgement, we ignore flow control and congestion control. Okay, now how the TCP sender works. Okay, how the TCP sender works. When the TCP sender, it receives the data is received from application. When the TCP sender, it receives the data from application layer, it creates segment with the sequence number. It divides the data into bytes, and to each byte the sequence number is assigned, and then first some number of bytes, they are put in the first packet. Okay, so the sequence number, it will be, when the TCP the sequence number is byte stream number of first data byte in the segment. So the sequence number of the packet, it will be this the byte with the lowest sequence number. That sequence number will become the sequence number of the packet. Okay, and then the packet is sent. When the packet is sent, and the timer is start, if not already running. If other packets are not, if the timer is not already running, then the timer is started. If the timer is already running, since in the TCP we use single timer, the TCP use single timer. So if the one timer is already running, so we don't restart the timer, we don't start another timer. Okay, so if the first timer is running, then we don't start. If there is no timer running, that is, it is the first packet that we are sending, then we start the timer. So think of timer as a for oldest unacknowledgement segment, because in the TCP we have one timer. So if the timer is running, then we don't start another timer. Okay, so the expiration interval, so the time is set to timeout interval. Okay, now suppose that the timeout happens, the packet is transmitted and its timer is started, and suppose the timer expires. If the timeout happens in the Go backend, what we do? In Go backend, if the timeout for the packet number 4 happens, for packet number 4 the timeout happens in Go backend, then we transmit packet number 4 and subsequent packet, that is packet number 5, 6, 7. Suppose we have sent packet number 4, 5, 6, 7, and the timer expired for packet number 4, then we send packet number 4, 5, 6. So packet number 4, 5, 6, they are retransmitted. But in the TCP, when the timer of a packet expires, only that packet is retransmitted. Retransmit segment that caused timeout. So only that packet is retransmitted for which the timer is expired. The other packets that are sent, they are not retransmitted. So this is the best feature of selective repeat. In selective repeat, when the timer of a packet is expired, only that packet is retransmitted. So it means that TCP adopts, it combines the best feature of Go backend and selective repeat. You can see that the TCP use the Go backend, these two features of the Go backend, and when the timeout happens, then only that packet is retransmitted, not other packets. So this is the best feature of selective repeat. So it means that TCP, it is using the best feature of go back in and selective repeat. And when the packet is retransmitted, then its timer is restarted. Okay. And when the TCP sender receives acknowledgement, so if acknowledgement previously unacknowledgement, if this acknowledgement is new one, if it acknowledged the previously unacknowledged segments, then update what is known to be acknowledged, then updates its timer. Updated that it stops the timer for these unacknowledgement segments and updates the pointer. What does it mean? It means that when the TCP it receives the acknowledgement for these bytes, then this sender base it is updated. So it sender base is this one for the first yellow. If the first 3 yellow they are acknowledged, then the send base will be for the 4th yellow packet. Okay, so it will update. So if acknowledgement, so update what is known to be acknowledged and start timer if there are still unacknowledged segment. If there are still unacknowledged packets, unacknowledged bytes, then the timer is restarted for the oldest one segment that is unacknowledged. Okay, because we maintain only single timer and the timer is maintained for the oldest unacknowledged segment. Okay, so this is the working of TCP sender. It is the FSM. I think it is much easy and you can understand it in the book. So okay, so this is the TCP sender. Okay, so this is the FSM. I think it is much easy, so you can read it again. Okay, so it is much easy. Now we are going to discuss some example scenarios. Okay, some example scenarios to understand in a better way that how the sequence number, how the acknowledgement number, and how the timeout and how the timer is set. Okay, suppose that we have host A and host B. Please remember to understand these figures. Okay, if you do understand, then you will understand the working of TCP. It will be much easier. Okay, suppose we have host A and host B. Host A sends the first packet with the sequence number 92 and it contains 8 bytes. So it means it contains the bytes with the sequence number 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So it contains the bytes starting with the sequence number 92 up to 99. Suppose this packet is received by host B. So when host B receives it, so it will send acknowledgement 100. So in the TCP, the acknowledgement acknowledgement number is for the next expected sequence number. So here this byte contains the data up to sequence number 99. So the next expected byte will be with the sequence number 100. So expected sequence number is 100. So this becomes the acknowledgement number and this acknowledgement is sent. Suppose this acknowledgement is lost. So what will happen when the packet is transmitted? Its timer is started. Its timer out is started. Its timer is started. Suppose its acknowledgement is lost. Then its timeout will happens. When this timeout happens and acknowledgement is not received, so it means that either the packet is lost or acknowledgement is lost. In this case, acknowledgement is lost. So if the timeout is expired, then this packet will be retransmitted. You can see that this packet is retransmitted, so it is received duplicate. So how the host B comes to know that this packet is duplicate? So through sequence number, that these bytes are duplicate. so it will be discarded. By discarding means that this byte, this data will not be delivered to the application layer. But here it is received for the first time correctly, so they will be, and it is n adder, so it will be delivered to the application. But here this will be not delivered. This means discard. It will discard. However, the host B will send acknowledgement for this byte. Whether the data is received for the first time or the data is received for the duplicate, okay, or it is received 3 times, 4 times at the same break received, so each time it is received correctly in adder, the host B will send acknowledgement. Host C will send acknowledgement. Okay.